Hello everyone. Just wanted to let you know that was a pretty recent song from Within O Fire. 100% recommend that band if you like heavy metal. 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend enough. Um, Welcome, everyone. Um, it's been a tough time, guys. I haven't seen you guys in a year, and I'm sorry about that. Um, I will have more physical work or paperwork to show you why. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks here. Um, but just to kind of explain, I'm a graduate. I have my bachelor's in cybersecurity now, so I am now officially a graduated college student. I'm still working on some certifications, but I now have more time to be able to do these videos now for you guys. School got very, very complicated very, very quick, and there was just a lot going on. I was working full time. I have a family to take care of, and I needed to be able to spend time with them, and it wasn't possible to do streaming and the podcast like I did before. But so now we're good. Now we're good. Okay. Um, but this one's not gonna be super long. Okay. This one's gonna be reasonably quick. So we're gonna do this one, and then we will pretty much just chill out, hang out, and do some things. A few minutes just hanging out. Just got done streaming. It was a great time back. I mean, no one came by. Sad, but that's okay. I didn't expect anyone to. So, um, but yeah, we're gonna have a pretty regular streaming and YouTube uploads, especially this week, starting it. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm looking at right now. Um, we're gonna go and do it what I did before, right? So, great stuff here. All right, I don't play Fortnite. Okay, I played it once. It made me very angry. I was irritated by it. I was bored. So, haven't played it since. It's literally not even on my computer. With that being said, though, I still want to talk about it. I want to talk about it because it's news that's coming up, and I think it's important for those who watch the channel or who come to this podcast will know, um, some information coming up if you haven't already read it or seen about it. And we're just going to kind of talk about a little bit of it. But essentially, this is an article from PC Gamer. And this article talks about Fortnite is adding a Lego-themed survival crafting mode that includes Lego versions of over 1,200 pre-existing skins. Interesting. So, looks like they are coming together with Fortnite. If you want, we will watch the trailer for it here in a second. But basically, they're starting their 5th chapter, which is the new season coming up. But they are collaborating with Lego to basically have like a Lego themed survival crafting mode, which I probably won't play just because, again, I don't like the whole like build type thing, but I don't know what that crafting is supposed to look like. I don't know if like they're comparing it to like the Lego movies. If you've watched like Lego 1 and 2 and like the Batman Lego movie, I mean those were great movies. So I don't know if they're like referring to something like that or anything like that. But basically, like the article says, details are sparse. Right? There's not a lot. But basically, it's like a separate game from what I understand. From what the article I'd read this article earlier, so I'm just kind of giving you tidbits and having it up so you can see what I saw, information wise. Basically, it'll be miniature figures of pre-existing games in the system already, but it's not usable in Fortnite's Battle Royale mode. That kind of sucks, but that actually comes out in a couple days. Today is the 4th, so in about 3 days, you guys will have access to that. Let's go ahead, let's open up this video, and let's see what it looks like for us. It's a little fuzzy right now. Let's pause it. Let's retry this. I don't know why it's acting this way. There we go. It's like auto doesn't work. So So this is an announcement trailer. So looks like Fortnite's gonna be doing their thing here. I don't know what that is. Ignore that. Um, but yeah, I mean, Fortnite's gonna have, a whole Lego version. And honestly, Fortnite's already a very popular game, especially among younger kids. And a lot of streamers still play it. So it's I think it's a solid step going towards Lego because it's something that everyone knows, everyone loves. I mean, it's been around forever. I mean, as long as I can remember, at least. Um, I'm sure I could look up how long Lego's been around, but this isn't a documentary on Lego, right? But their Lego movies always did really well. I mean, Lego Star Wars that did really well. So this is probably bring a lot of people back to Fortnite and just create a whole, just a bigger space for people to come hang out in. Be a huge change than it was before. So I can see it being pretty successful with it. I can. Um, but let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next one. I've got a couple of articles here. Like I said, we're not going to do a long one. It's going to be kind of a short one, but we're going to talk about it. This one. Basically, apparently there's some signs that the PC market is going to be pretty strong next year. Basically, what the article's saying here is after work from home boom and seemingly endless global political and economic instability, a slowdown was always likely to happen. But if a new analysis from Canalys, I don't know who that is, but I'll have to look into that for you guys. Basically, a better year for the PC market. I'm assuming for like parts and stuff. So let's read a little bit further. Forecasts, basically, Canalys forecast the global PC market to return to 8% growth. It attributes this growth to tailwinds, including the Windows refresh cycle and emergence of AI capable and ARM based devices. Oh, got a message. Windows 12. Interesting. I'm going to dive more into this because, so Microsoft, saying here, Microsoft hasn't announced the new Windows, but rumors are growing that it will launch sometime in 2024. I mean, didn't Windows 11 just come out like last year, the year before? Let's look. Ooh. 2021. Okay, so it really hasn't been that long. I mean, by this time, if this company really believes that it'll come out in June of 2024, be barely even 3 years. I mean, I don't know. I'll look in more into that and see what information I can find and bring it up in the next podcast just so that we can kind of go over it. Yeah, interesting. I'll look into that a little bit more. Now, so this is from a Taiwanese financial newspaper. Man, interesting. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that here, guys. This article goes on to say artificial intelligence is all the buzz. Most of these articles, there's a lot of like nothing that kind of sticks to like factual information or like objective information. It's just kind of a lot of hearsay and reporting and like personal thoughts. So don't take what this is saying as like 100% truth or anything like that. But essentially, mainstream PC buyers are less likely to be impressed by 10% CPU performance. I'm dyslexic. Improvement. What? Than they are about new functionality subset. I think it also just depends on the person, honestly. I mean, I prefer like nice CPU performance over GPU performance. I don't have like a crazy good GPU. I just have like a 2080 Super in my main rig, and my older rig has a 1070 Ti. I mean, it's nothing crazy, or 1050 Ti, one of the two. I don't have anything wild. I think it just depends on the person. Me personally, I'm okay with like an increase in CPU performance. Definitely, helps me personally. I prefer it, but graphics aren't like my end all be all. But also on top of that, everyone else really does like graphics. Graphics are great. So if you're wanting GPU performance to be better, honestly, it depends. Depends. Um, let's see here. So this guy or gal goes on to say, personally, I'm excited to see ARM make a move into the laptop space. Qualcomm's X Elite chip really could be a game changer, and Qualcomm's own performance predictions are true. If okay, I mean, if ARM is going to move into the computer laptop, um, space, it would definitely be an addition. I mean, most people know Intel and AMD, so I can't really dog on it and say, oh no, this is gonna be horrible or whatever. Like, I mean, look at AMD when it came out. It wasn't amazing when it showed up. So, but now it's probably on par with Intel, or if not better in some cases, just kind of depending on the actual CPU to begin with. So, we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, with that being said, that's pretty much all we're gonna go over. There's not really a lot of important stuff in it besides some of those things. At least just the teaser for the Windows 12 is what I really wanted to talk about. Um, Sorry, guys. Been a long night, so forgive me for the yawn. Um, yeah, and because I'm out of cybersecurity, I went through that process. I got my degree. I'm getting a bunch of certifications and stuff. I thought, not only can we talk about gaming stuff and stuff related to, tech and things of that nature, I think that I would also like to just try something a little bit different with us today, and potentially just, let me know. But I definitely like to go over, some small stuff that comes up here and there, some things to kind of keep everyone aware of. This is by a site, Bleeping Computer, and basically talks about there's a new proxy malware that targets Mac users through pirated software. Now, I have not read this one, so I'm going to read it to you guys, like with you guys. This is by Bill Tallis. I'm assuming that's how you say his name. I don't know. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But this is recent, so this came out the 3rd, so this came out Sunday. So I'll go ahead and read through some of this here, and we can talk about it. And the article goes on to say cybercriminals are targeting Mac users with a new proxy Trojan malware bundle with popular copyrighted Mac OS software being offered on Juarez sites. Never heard of that before, Juarez sites. I'll have to look into that a little more. Proxy Trojan malware infects computers. Yeah, it's like the Trojan horse, right? It's a Trojan. It's a type of malware that disguises itself as something else, so when it gets inside, it then infects everything. That's what a Trojan malware infection would look like. But proxy Trojan malware infects computers, turning them into traffic forwarding terminals used to anonymize malicious or illegal activities such as hacking, phishing, and transactions for illicit goods. So basically, the difference between the Trojan right here, right, just normal Trojan malware that you would normally see, is just normal infection, getting your data and stuff like that. But a proxy Trojan is basically turning your traffic. It's almost like using your computer into forwarding information and stuff and helping them bounce around, kind of like a VPN type network. It's what I'm getting from this. because this is new. I've never heard of this before. I'm going to be doing more research into it, and we might go over it next week again and just kind of bring it up and kind of, bring this to light because this is something I haven't seen before. Um, Interesting. So it's disguising itself as something else, and it's turning it into a port forwarding, I'm assuming, because the traffic has to go through ports. It's basically turning into like a hub, but almost like a VPN hub, like because it's anonymizing it, so it's like anonymous. Anyways, the article goes on to say selling access to proxies is a lucrative business that has given birth to massive botnets, with Mac devices not being spared by the widespread activity. Yeah, well, Mac prides itself on like this kind of security and checking apps before they're actually used and able to be put into the app store and like all these kinds of things, but obviously not, especially if this is happening. The latest campaign pushing proxy malware was discovered by Kaspersky, which reports the earliest submission of the payload on virus total dates to April 28th, 2023. So it's been going on for a few months, but that was the first one. Bundled with popular Juarez, the campaign takes advantage of people's willingness to risk their computer security to avoid paying for premium apps. Kaspersky, I guess that's how you say it, found 35 image editing, video compression and editing, data recovery, and network scanning tools. So sorry for yelling. Not yelling, but yawning. It's been a long day, guys. Interesting. So okay. So these tools are laced with proxy Trojan and to bait users looking for free versions of commercial software. So it's like, so it says what? 4K video download. Didn't spell download right, and I'm assuming they did that on purpose. But it's downloader, WQ loader, Mac data recovery, Mac video converter ultimate, any MP4 Android data recovery for Mac, Downy 4, phone pod data recovery. There's SQL Pro Studio. Yeah, that's us. Okay, interesting. Kaspersky says that unlike the legitimate software, which are distributed as disk images, the Trojanized versions are downloaded as PKG files, compared to disk files, which are standard installation medium for these programs. Which, yeah, that's what your it's a disk image. Basically, the operating system of a computer is a disk image that you're using. PKG files are far riskier as they can execute scripts during the installation of the app. Because the installer files are executed with administrator rights, any scripts they execute gain the same permissions when performing dangerous actions, including file modification, file auto-run, and command execution. In this case, the embedded scripts are activated after the program's installation to execute the Trojan, a Windows Server file, and make it appear as a system process. So they took a screenshot of what it looks like. Or are they like... It's definitely code. Root permissions. It's interesting. Change. Yeah, these are both changes. Right there. Directory. Another change. It does. It's not. It doesn't look that. It looks complicated, but it's really not. Wow. Okay. The article goes on to say, Windows Server is a legitimate system process in Mac OS responsible for managing the graphic user interface. So the Trojan aims to blend with routine system operations and elude user scrutiny. So okay. So it says the file tasked with launching Windows Server upon OS startup is named Google Helper Update PLIST. That was that right at the beginning here that I looked at here, right here. That's right there. That's what it's talking about. And it says upon launch, the Trojan connects to its C2 command and control server via DNS over HTTPS, DOH, to receive commands relating to its operation. Kaspersky couldn't observe these commands in action, but through analysis deduced that the client supports creating TCP and UDP connections to facilitate proxying. So basically, kind of explain a little bit about what TCP and UDP do. So TCP is like where essentially it's requiring handshake. So it has to make sure all the information and packets are there. So when it sends it, gets confirmation. That other thing that was basically if my computer was requesting it, TCP. So like I'm requesting information from Google server would then send me information. It would get a confirmation from me saying that I got all of it. And if I dropped any, it would then send the packets that I was missing, or send it again. And then, because it actually cares about lost packets, versus UDP. UDP is like for like just dropping information. It doesn't care if packets are lost. It doesn't require any kind of handshake or anything. It's just like, oh, okay, you want something? Cool, here you go, and just gives it without a care. That's just kind of what that is here. And the last bit of this article here is, in addition to macOS campaign using PKGs, the same C2 infrastructure hosts proxy Trojan payloads for Android and Windows architectures, so the same operators likely target a wide range of systems. Wow. Well, don't be stupid. I get that you don't want to like pay for premium stuff to be able to use like editing software like on your phone, especially like TikTok's real big, so people want to use an editing software on their phone. Well, that sucks, dude. Either get a laptop or pay for like some kind of physical video editor for that phone, and not like skimp out on that, because those are 100%, they're processed through Mac, or they're processed through the App Store. So use those instead, just because you never know. And there's a lot of sites that look sketchy, and most people don't know. They don't care. They want to be able to change their video or audio, or get audio just as real easy, and have no issues with it. So I mean, I get the want, but man, it's just not a good idea. I would never do that. I would not recommend it, on all honesty, just because the way that people are trying to get into systems nowadays, it's just too sketchy. Too sketchy. But nonetheless, that was all the articles we had for today. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty short video today, so I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. This will go up today, which you're watching this today, but it's Monday. We're going to come out every Monday at noon, so you'll have a video every Monday at noon from us, and then we're looking at potentially doing videos, 1 or 2 videos throughout the week as well, just so you have some extra content to watch. So again, appreciate you guys. Hope you have a good one. Thank you so much. Again, we will hang out. I'll see you guys later, and why don't you guys kind of listen a little bit more of Richard right before we go. And anyways, that's his name, singer of the band. Within on Fire, please go ahead, watch it, listen to it, whatever you got to do. Definitely go listen to music if you're a heavy metal fan. So, anyways, guys, take it easy. Have a great night. Thank you so much for coming by.